Yes, yes, people. What's happening? We're back again with another Red Talk. NURADIN, what you telling me, bro? You're on mute, bro. Can't hear you.
Yo, big up, people. Big up. Smash
Yo,
that
big up,
like,
my
man.
brother.
I'm good, King. I'm good. Tired.
No, I
Late one
hear
last
it, bro.
night.
Oh
Other
yeah,
than
of
that, I'm
course,
good,
bro.
man. The
Day
sun's
off for
out
you,
here,
man,
man.
today, innit?
Yeah, man. Sun is out here, though.
Sun is
It's
not out
lovely.
here, bro. It was raining and it's
In
cloudy,
London,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what's going on, bro. We ain't got it. We ain't got the weather you man have got. That's not normal.
That's not normal, bro. That's not normal.
It's not
Trust me.
normal. Weather's not
Manchester's
good here.
been the weekend, yeah. It's been nice, man. It's been nice.
That's crazy. Nah, man. Good to hear, man. Bro, how obviously after everything we discussed on the last show about the direction we want to see the team going, bro,
Yeah.
these Tuchel shouts are getting loud, bro. Like they're getting loud.
Very
Like,
loud.
and even I saw something today, like there was a claim that the players are open to the idea of him coming in as well. Normally, when you hear stuff saying, "Oh, the players are open to it," that means that there's been some discussion, bro. Because the one thing Man United are good at, yeah, is they're good at briefing little things and trying to control the narrative and try and
Oh,
see how people react to certain things. They've been doing it. The similar thing happened when with the Jose situation when we had Van Gaal. They do little things like that, bro. And I feel like it almost feels like they're preparing us for it.
yeah, 100%. You know that more than any other club, this club will use whatever, all that they have at their disposal. I mean, let's be right. Fergie ran a tight ship for all those years. When I say that, he was the head of communication, he was the director of football, he was the, general manager, he was just, he did it all. But after that, they realized the media, the way how media should be used, because we became a super commercial football club. And anytime for me, I'm always like, yo, that's a club brief. And if you pay attention in it, certain journalists that have been used by this football club to brief out or put the feelers out there. Let's just put it,
Yeah.
put the feel. Let's test the temperature of the fan base. What people are thinking. So yeah, we saw it with the Super League thing. We saw it, with the Mason Greenwood thing. We saw it. What they do. So I won't put it past them. But I'm just like, okay, if you're willing me to say that there's this new people coming in now, serious football structure, why are they going? What differentiates them from Glazer with Woodward and the rest of the bankers? That because Tuchel is the obvious guy, innit? It's that you put your how to paper over the cracks. Manchester United have done 12 years of papering over cracks. Now it's time to admit, to find out where we are as a football club, what's happening with the football club, and to do a proper serious rebuild. Now, it's not going to take one window or two window or three. It's going to take 4 or 5 windows, as we know. But start somewhere. We are already in the doldrums, right? I'm happy to take 3 steps forward to take 6 forward.
Yeah.
3 back, 6
to take
forward.
6 forward, 100%.
I'm willing to do that. So, to me, Thomas Tuchel doesn't, because then I'm like, so who's some Barada guy? Does he not understand that you have to build from the bottom with football fundamentals? Get a coach that coaches, not one that is out here, beefing with whoever, players. So what's different between him and Ten Hag anyway? How many times has my man beefed? Who ran Sadio Mane out of the football club?
Yeah.
Come on now. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Nowadays, we have to understand that modern management, if you don't have the players, if even your tactics is crap, your coaching is crap, if you got the players, that takes you a long way. But if you don't have the players, because that level of footballers these days are not ones that who are going to take criticism easily. So you have to control them. You have to get them on side. You have to know when to put arm around. So if Thomas Tuchel is the kind of guy that falls out with people, what are we doing?
I hear it.
To me, all we're doing is that we're addicted to the drama. All we're doing is that we want that drama. We want that kickoff. We want that chaos. So some of the fan base, you know who they are.
Yeah.
These absolute dumpsters come out and say, yeah, support my manager. No. Listen, at the end of the day, support the manager and this and that. the manager has to earn my support.
Facts.
I'm not giving. Long time, for over a decade, we gave all these bozos, players and managers, our support. And where has he got us? Nowhere. So nobody for me, from the owners, from Ineos with their quarter sexuals, I don't care. You're not getting, you have to earn everything. So if they go for Tuchel, for me, it means nothing has changed. And Glazer's still, because he's gonna just put that plaster on that machete wound, and that's what's gonna happen. Put a little plaster, and then in 2 years' time, we're back at the cycle again. So he'll be gone. He'll be falling out with people. That's where we'll be. Go and get a coach that coaches footballers. Go and get a coach so that we can get excited about the batch of new youngsters that are coming up. Go and get a coach that can harness some of the gifts that some of those young players have. Go and get a coach that, and the club can identify players that we can improve on, that we're not paying stupid, silly money for. That we can go and do these little pockets of deals to bring in and actually build a footballing team.
Facts. Yeah, man. I done a poll on Twitter. There's still like 48 minutes left, but there's been nearly 3,000 people that done the poll, and it's 53% yes for Tuchel and 47% no. So it's bloody close. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's 53%, 47, and there's 48 minutes left. My biggest problem with the Tuchel thing would be, these men have made me think that they had a plan coming in. They've got rid of whoever they've got rid of. They brought in who they've wanted. If they go and bring in Tuchel, who wasn't available when they decided to come in, that means that they've either changed, they've deviated away from the plan they had, or they don't really have one. That would be the main red flag for me. Because if you decide, for instance, I'm coming in, I'm getting Barada, I'm getting Ashraf, I'm gonna get ahead of recruitment, and I'm gonna get Graham Potter, and you do all of those things, cool. If that was always the plan, that's fine. But imagine if your plan was, all right, we're gonna get Potter, then Tuchel becomes available, and then all of a sudden you say, all right, now Graham, we're not gonna take you, we go to get Tommy Tuchel. I can't trust you no more, because it shows me that you're willing to deviate from the plan. And my thing is, if you really have a plan and you're sold on your plan, nothing makes you deviate from it. Nothing at all. And this is the thing. If you decide that this is the way we want to go, this is the football we want to play, this is the club's philosophy, if another manager becomes available, you do not deviate, especially not for a Thomas Tuchel. You can deviate for like a Pep Guardiola or a Carlo Ancelotti, but you don't deviate for a Thomas Tuchel, bro. Like he's not a higher caliber enough of manager to deviate from the original plan for. This is my problem. I'd rather if Potter was always first choice, then Potter gets the job, because Potter showed more in his career about managing players and improving players and managing players that aren't top players. We've seen it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when he left Brighton in a good position, and then De Zerbi came in and continued. So I'd rather they go and get Graham Potter than they go and get Thomas Tuchel, because then at least if they do get Potter, I can see it as cool. Potter was always the first choice. If we end up with Tuchel, it looks like these men have changed their mind, and I don't like that. I feel like if you're going to do something like this, you have to do it with conviction.
But what does that tell you about them, though, and their plan? That they never really believed in it in the first place.
Precisely.
Like I said, whether the fans like it or not, if they had a plan, stick to your plan. Don't deviate from your plan, because you have to believe in what you're doing. If you think what's best and you're thinking strategically in 3 to 4 years' time, then you're thinking in that base, and you've got a clear strategy where everybody agrees. Now, I understand football can be, changeable, but for Thomas Tuchel, man, come on. That our problem is not that with Tom. It's not that they've gone away from the plan. It's the fact that you're going for Thomas Tuchel, that we already know what he does. Yep. Everybody has seen already what he does. He gets in the cup runs. He'll get the odd cup win again, and that's what happened. And just the fact that he went through to a Champions League semi-final, or he's going through, or he could go through to a Champions semi-final. So that's what matters to them then. Manchester United are nowhere near no Champions League. We're nowhere near. As we speak right now, we see 8. I don't want us to have no Europe next season. I'm comfortable losing the next 3 so that we go 10th. So the next coach who comes in has a clear way where he can actually do the work that needs to be done. But at the end of the day, all I know is a lot of the people voting is because of that. It's whatever that's current. And
it's also a cup thing. They're like, oh, he wins stuff everywhere he goes. Bro, we've tried to do the quick fix thing too many times. I don't want to hear that Tuchel wins things everywhere he goes. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is one thing that Arsenal have done well. This is what they've done well, because they picked their man, and it was always a long-term project for them, because Arteta didn't have no credentials as a first-team manager, but they understood, that they needed a philosophy. They needed something to believe in, and they understood that they were going to start from the bottom. And that's what we need to do. We need to start from the bottom. There's gonna need to be a clear out. Same with Arteta. I don't know how many players were at the club when he came in, I think 5 years ago now. There can't be many left. There can't be many left apart from what, Saka and Martinelli.
Same thing with Klopp. Same thing with Pep. The clear out was there. I always said to him, I always said this, and I said it again and again. After a decade and a bit of failure, right? We're now into the next decade, yeah? We are being failure for a decade. What do you want? Do you want just to go for the odd cup here and there, the odd Europa League, the odd League Cup, maybe the FA Cup here and there? Or do you want to build a team that challenges for Champions League, that is there, that is teams are worried about when it comes to knockout, and a team that's actually challenging or winning a league title? What do you want to build? Do you want to go for the quick little thing, plaster, paper, or do you want to actually build a football club that can be sustained? A team that can be sustained, that is challenging for the major trophies. What do we want? And the thing about it is that we want it to be done with good football.
Yep.
The idea, I mean, the most I had some arguments with certain people, but the idea that you can do it playing trash football, this is not happening.
But bro, we built our reputation, on not just winning, but how we won. That's also important. Like it always has. Like what I don't like is this new, and it's a new thing that's come in really with younger fans, where they're starting to try and pretend like how you win doesn't matter. It matters. Like even when Simeone was winning, everyone was like, oh, Simeone's a terrorist. He just parks the bus. Even when he was winning, because people understood that there's value in winning a certain way. That's the reason why Barcelona didn't touch Jose Mourinho. Mourinho wins, but they said, no, you have to win a certain way. That's how it's always been, bro. Like how you win is just as important as winning, brother. That's why certain managers can't manage certain teams. And it's always been that way.
Look at little old West Ham. David Moyes has bought them trophy after how many years? After how many years he bought them?
Still getting rid of him.
Getting rid of him. Why? Because listen, it says what it says on the tin. Football is entertainment. Now it's entertainment business.
And even more so when these men are putting up season ticket prices every year, when they're doing all these things, you have to give people a reason to come. It's entertainment. That's exactly what it is. And if the football's not good, you can't legislate charging what you want to charge.
The idea of, for me, one of the most craziest things that actually Manchester United fundamentals were built on good football. It was, take it back to the Industrial Revolution. Manchester United was founded by Newton Heath, was a Newton Heath Railway Club. It was founded so that half a Saturday, the workers who worked on the railway can go to a stadium and see people like humans like them do something extraordinary that they couldn't do. Then when we moved to Old Trafford and we moved to this side of Manchester, it became Manchester United were called FC Hollywood. Why? Because playing good football. What was the Busby thing about? Playing good football, young players playing exceptional football. So the idea that these kids think that this is FIFA, bro. I blame FIFA for that. Seriously, Rants. I'm always talking about the FIFA generation. And yeah, I have every right to talk about FIFA generation. FIFA generation think this is how it is. And players are machines. So when players have a bad game, they think, oh, no. Some of the best ballers I've ever known in my life that I love to watch, and that sometimes they threw in stinkers because they're human beings.
Yeah.
But the FIFA generation thing, you have to win. You have to win. You have to win, but it don't matter how you play. And I'm like, no. And some United fans have been so damaged because they're taking stick from all of the fans, you know, rivals.
Yeah, they just want it to go away. They're not thinking about long term.
They're looking for that pain relief, bro. It's that pain relief. They're just like, we got to win, but I don't care how we win. Just bring me a manager that can win. That's what I want to shout about Simeone and Conte and these guys. I'm like, come on now. Behave yourselves. Manchester 100%. United has a way to win. Even when we didn't win from the 80s till the 90, 92 and won the league. Manchester United was still entertaining teams. That's why the Old Trafford can be filled. We were building and expanding Old Trafford. Why?
Yeah.
Because we had the wing play unlocked. The original 4-4-2, nobody was doing it like us. Facts. From the 80s even. From the 80s to late 80s, mid 80s to late 90s, we were doing it. And then it took Fergie to change that culture, to come in and actually buy and get rid of everybody. The only person he kept was Brian Robson. He got rid of every man. Got rid of everybody, built a team, built a sustainable team that can play good football. And you know what? If Fergie's would now in these times, you're not afforded that much. You're not afforded 4 years. But the thing, what you said about Arsenal is 100% correct. You pick your man and you back him. Because the fact that the old man fails is a failure of you.
Yes.
It's an indictment of you. And
100%.
what you're thinking, what your plan is. I understand sometimes you think, you know what, we have to just change the route a little bit. But you change the route, bro. You're going up to grid, bro. You're going up Google Maps, bro. I don't know what you're
on. It's not even close. That was like when I heard Ten Hag say, oh, we couldn't get Harry Kane, so we got Rasmus instead. What the fuck? Like, Rasmus ain't even the same profile as a Harry Kane, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the same with Tuchel. Tuchel's nowhere near a Graham Potter or anything like that. So even if, for instance, you were going to get Graham Potter and then someone that had a similar style to Graham Potter, similar philosophy, but an elite version was available, then you took it. Fair enough. But they're not even comparable stylistically. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. And this is why I said a lot of these fans, they just want a quick fix, but they're saying that actually, nah, like we need a rebuild. Which one is it? Which one is it? And that's why, as much as people turn around and say, cool, Arsenal ain't won anything and all of that, cool, they haven't won anything. I'll be the first to tell you that. I don't like these guys. But you have to understand that since Josh Kroenke came in and decided that Arteta was the guy, he's given them everything he's wanted. Contracts have been terminated. Players have come in. Players have gone out. And Arteta has slowly turned the team into his own image. So everything he wants to play, he now has players for that. When he wanted to play Havertz in the midfield, breaking the last line, attacking from deep, he can do that. When he wants to play him as a false nine, dropping into midfield, he can do that. He has the tools to play the football he wants to play for different games because he's built the team in his image. Now, if he continues to fail, then there's an argument that cool, he can't take them to the next step. But you can't look at what he's done as a failure because he's built the structure now that if another manager comes in right now, the squad and the team is in a million times better shape than where he found it.
100%. You could listen, he's already laid down the foundations and actually the coaching. The biggest thing for me is that some people, when they see this video, they're going to take you out of context here. So Rants is not comparing Tuchel's success, or whatever you want to call it, winning PSG, doing whatever he's done, right? Winning the Champions League at Chelsea, to Graham Potter. We're talking about in terms of player development and coaching. That's what we're talking about, the tangible things that you can actually see. We're not talking about what you can do tactically to win cups. We're talking about actual coaching. Whether we like it or not, Graham Potter laid down the foundations at Brighton. Brighton wanted to place him. They approached Graham Potter. Graham Potter came in, laid down the foundation.
And also at Swansea before that, bro. People forget that that's not his first gig.
Exactly. The Swansea, and then even this guy managed and actually coached. And he's a thinking guy. Actually uses different other techniques. He used. I actually would not want him at Manchester United because I think that Chelsea thing showed me that he's not ready for that build up. But then I'm like, you know what? Chelsea at that time was chaos. So how can I judge him?
They're still not really doing much better now.
Yeah, and how can I judge my guy on that chaos at Chelsea because that's not a stable club. When you give the man 45, 46 players, and then he's got to decide on a match day, he's picking, you know what I mean, 18. You know what I mean? 18 out of 40, that don't go. That don't go. And how many people are going to be left out? Of course, you're going to be coming in for it. So, for me, I'm just like, pick a coach who knows what he's doing and that you believe the methods of the coach. You believe the methods of the coach. And I said the next coach needs to lay down the fundamentals because we don't even have those fundamentals. We don't have those fundamentals. He laid it down at Brighton. De Zerbi comes in, bam, takes it to the next level. Yeah. So that is what we're talking about at Manchester United. So getting Tuchel, it is papering over the cracks, and majority of you are just doing it for copium. That's what you are, because you're getting bantered by your friends who support the rivals, and then you don't know what you want. And also the club has got you all in the spin. Got you all in the spin, because that's how the club is. We're this, we're that. No, we're not. We're 8th. And sometimes I question how we're even 8th. The criminal football we played this season.
Yeah. The reason why we are 8th is because we still have more quality, than the people that we're playing against, even though we've been set up to fail. This is the honest truth. Like, even this statement, I've disproved this statement many times. Saying that these players have thrown many managers under the bus is simply a fallacy. It's simply a fallacy, because there's no players left from the Moyes and LVG era. There's very few left from the Jose Mourinho era, apart from you guys' favorites, Rashford and Luke Shaw, who you guys refuse to condemn. You guys are still putting in Man United teams for next season, even though both of them should be out of here. So most of the players in this squad have come in under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So like the majority of this squad is 3 years. I believe Luke Shaw, Diogo Dalot, Anthony Martial, and Marcus Rashford are like the only, and I think Victor Lindelof are the only 4 or 5 that have been there since Jose. Everyone else is brand new. Yeah. So all this thing saying that people have thrown multiple managers under the bus is simply a fallacy, because there's only been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralf Rangnick, who was an interim. 6 months. So you can't really count him because he was an interim. He was never staying anyway. So it's only been Solskjaer and Ten Hag. That's 2 managers. So this multiple manager thing is an absolute fallacy. It's been 2 full-time managers, and the majority of the squad were not here before these guys come. So
we've had five full-time managers and 6 interims.
There you go.
That's what we've had.
So why are people talking about throwing multiple managers under the bus when what? So you're going to decide to count the managers that weren't staying anyway?
And Jose threw himself under the bus. My guy lived in a hotel, Rants. I was saying that.
He was never staying.
Stadium. My guy, what more? Listen, it's not what you say, it's what you do that tells me who you are. It's not what you say, it's what you do. My guy, you're thinking, you know what, 2 weeks later onto the hotel, oh, but he hasn't got his farm. So what? Are you kidding me? This can't come down here. Listen, making it out like Manchester and London are like Canada to London. Are you taking the piss? It's 2 hours on the Virgin, mate. It's 2 hours. It's 2 hours on the Virgin train, mate. They run every day. What are you on about? So this idea, you can get shoulder driven. That's how much you can fly. You can fly. Half an hour it takes on a flight.
It does.
So what are the people on about? So for me, from day dot, and when I said that, I remember the Mirror and that were picking up. When I said that on the fan camp, people were picking up, going, United fans are not happy because saying that Jose lives in the Jose, how way he behaved, for me, when Jose sat, this one I knew we're not a football club, yeah? This one I knew, right? When Jose sat there, started telling me about Sevilla football heritage. Who the fuck has Sevilla to Manchester United?
Thank you.
Who the fuck has Sevilla? When he started telling me about football heritage, talking up Sevilla with their Europa League wins, that minute, a phone call after that interview, Joe say your P45 is ready. But then that's when I knew. That's when I knew, you know what, we're not. You're not, no manager of the current football club. Jose wanted to get out ASAP. He played the likes of Woodward and the rest of the bankers. Remember when he said, oh yeah, my son likes to go into Paris Saint-Germain. What a beautiful city it is. He takes the Euro. And then what? 2 months later, they gave him a contract. And then 5 minutes later, they sacked him. So this is ludicrous. This idea that, listen, the only manager that Manchester United have done dirty is Louis van Gaal. Yeah. That's the only manager they've done dirty is Louis van Gaal. That's the 100%. Only guy. So no other guy they've done dirty. Ollie, bless him, won the lottery, kid in the sweet shop, didn't know what happened. You know what I mean? Came in as an interim. He said it on that overlap thing.
Mm.
He didn't have a plan to stay on. He was making up as he went along. Because if he did, he would have a job by now. He would have a job by now. Doing bits with the team. So the only manager, don't get it twisted, the only manager that Manchester United done dirty is Louis van Gaal. Jose Mourinho, from the first day, was already thinking about his exit. And that's 100%. What Jose does. That's what 100%. Jose does.
He did not commit to this club. If he did, he would have had a house. Like, what's another house? Do you know what I'm saying? He could have rented a house. Most of the time, yeah, when managers come or players come, they rent a house from an ex-player or something like that. Because most of the time, players have bought a house. So I'm not trying to hear that. Like I think Mbappe's either renting or buying Sergio Ramos's old house in Madrid. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is how it usually works. This is how it usually works. He never committed fully to the club. Like, who lives in a flipping hotel? He lives in a hotel as a manager of a club, especially if he signed a 3-year contract or a 4-year contract. He's taking a piss, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And comments like this is exactly why I get annoyed with a lot of Man United fans. Like, respectfully, yeah, we don't need a manager that's won the Champions League. People can turn around and say, oh, yeah, but Arsenal haven't won anything. I don't care, bruv. I do not care. That's got nothing to do with anything. Arteta had not even managed. He hadn't even managed a team, bruv. He hadn't even managed a team, and look where he's got them. Man is saying Man United have money to buy world-class players. Tell me what world-class players are out there that are available right now, because there's very few world-class players left in football. Throwing money at players has not helped us for the last decade. So why do you think it's going to help us now? It's got us absolutely nowhere. Anthony and Rasmus Højlund cost the same amount that world-class players are supposed to cost. 85 million, 70 odd million. Did we get world-class players? No, we got scrubs. How much you spend on a player does not have anything to do with how well they're going to perform. It doesn't have anything to do with how good they actually are. Because a lot of the players that people are saying we should go and get from other teams didn't cost them that much money.
No.
Didn't cost them that much money, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Chelsea went and spent a bomb on Caicedo, yeah. He cost them like 5 mil. So how much you spend on a player does not dictate their quality at all. So saying we need a manager that's won the Champions League. Alonso ain't won the Champions League. The guy just won the league undefeated as a coach, and potentially he could do the treble undefeated. And as far as I know, it's never been done before. Yeah, what Champions League has he won?
Coaching, bro. Coaching.
We need a coach.
You need a coach. You look at Graham Potter, Caicedo, McAllister. Boom, took them to the next level. There has to be a little bit of talent, but took them to the next level. The Zerbi comes in, boom, develops even more. Both of them go for what? You know what I mean? So listen, United fans, I beg you, just understand, know where we are as a football club. Please wake up and smell the coffee. Wakey, United fans.
But this is what I'm saying.
He's
saying Tuchel finished third at Chelsea. His football can't challenge Pep in the league. Bro, again, it's like we shouldn't even be thinking about challenging Pep in the league right now. We're 8th. That's like a homeless person turning down a flipping Tesco meal deal and asking for a Nando's, bro. It's like, bro, are you hungry or not? Do you know what I mean? You got to understand that you're not really in a position to be bargaining. Like, at 8th in the league, yeah, finishing bottom of the Champions League group and a goal difference of a 1, Chelsea have a goal difference of 11. And we were laughing at Chelsea for most of the season. Now they're above us. We are not in the position, yeah, to turn around and talk about challenging Pep Guardiola. We just need to get back into the top 4, yeah, and get our house in order and clear out a lot of this dead wood that's in the team that people are complaining about. how dare we even talk about challenging Pep Guardiola? By the time we're ready to challenge for a leave, Pep might not even be here anymore.
Facts.
Pep might not be here in 2 to 3 years' time. He might not be.
Listen, Manchester United fans, you see how toxic our football club is here? It absolutely makes fans, from what they see with their eyes, tells them, no, we're the great Manchester United. We can challenge. We need to win the big trophies. That's what we're in it. That's what we're in here for. We're not. We're nowhere near. You know what we are? We have to take the baby steps. We have to climb that mountain again, mate. Well, where we are. We've gone over the cliff. We're at the bottom. We've got to get up first of all. We're not even getting up to crawl back to the top of the mountain. And at this moment, the only way we're throwing money at it, we've had the names. We've done everything they've done. We've given the guy, ex-player, the keys. We've done everything. And you know what? It's not worked. But one thing Ralf Rangnick said, it's not rocket science. Rep it up and start again.
Yes, sir.
And that's why all the ex-players all hated him. That's why they're all bombing the club, chumming up with the club. They're all coming up. But you know what? Nothing he said, everything he said was the truth. And when he came in, he saw it. And my guys were complaining about, oh, well, we've got our way. We can't come back at night, you know. My guy said we can't drive this. We can't drive. What is that, you know? You know what? You were thinking that my guys were driving from one point of California to the other side. You know how I've never been to America, but I heard the long drives are like 12 hours.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. I've driven down the East Coast, man, and that's why they have motels, bro. You have to stop and sleep, bro. Like it's days to travel. So
this idea that my guys were like, oh, we can't, he's changed the training times. And we can't, it's dark, you know.
Yeah, they might don't want to train in the evening.
That made me laugh, bro.
It's because they've been allowed like that. Because when Van Gaal was there, it wasn't optional. Van Gaal had them sleeping at the training ground.
Facts.
It wasn't optional. It was, we're doing double sessions, and you man are sleeping here. And they do similar things in other countries. I heard in Italy, as soon as Allegri came in, he had them man in some boot camp thing.
Bro, in Italy, they own you. That's the difference between Italy. Italy, when you sign a contract, they own you. The club owns you. That's why when they do something, let's say you go through bad weeks, they all got training camps.
Yeah.
Forget the girlfriends, forget the wives, forget the children. We're having a mini preseason again. Because we all have to figure out what's going on here. Was it Ancelotti? Was it Napoli? Where was Ancelotti at in Italy? Where was he? I think he took the team. The president was like, listen, these men need to go in the gulag. Listen, that's how these men need to go in the gulag. I think it was Napoli, Napoli. I think it was Napoli or another team where they had to go 2 weeks training mini preseason.
Max done that as well at Juventus, Allegri, when he came in.
Yeah, this is what we're going to have to figure out. So for me, Ralf was the only truth teller. And what happens when you get the truth teller? They buried him, bro. They promised him. I'll never forget everybody gassing. I was in the spaces on Twitter, and my guy, people were gassing, and I'm like, listen, I want to see the details. What happens when this 6 months or 5 months finishes? What the 2 years? What position is he gonna get? And everybody and the club Rants, let it be known by all their vulture journalists. Yeah, 2 years. He's gonna be there for 2 years. I'm like, look, where's the details in this? I want to see the detail. I want to hear the detail. No detail. And because he told that, he fell out with Myrtle, and Myrtle sacked him in the March. That's when people say to you, oh, Ralf Rangnick didn't get on with Ten Hag. Nah, Ten Hag didn't even speak to him. Listen to the first press conference. Ten Hag, listen, talk to the club. Because the club already sacked Rangnick. They just said to him, we'll pay you the money just the next 2 months. So no point you going now. We'll give you the money. So see you out. See you later. At the end of the day, and then they had to give him, because they promised him the 2 years, they had to give him that package. What they promised him. So at the end of the day, that was the only truth to that. Rip it up. And when I told people, I saw the likes of Juan Bissaka here at this fancy little chicken joints in Manchester. And I'm like, yo, I've seen you one too many times there. Most of the clubs, the clubs who want to win, right? These people who want to win and challenge for big trophies, they take your urine test. They take all these different kind of tests to know what's good. Forget your forget your diet. They do all the extra bits. And at United, bro, it's Manchester small.
Yeah.
Manchester United have got nearly about 1,000 people working for them, yeah? That's because it's big. When I tell people that it's big, right? Everybody understands and knows the players were willing to do what they did. Everybody was a party as long as you're getting paid, as long as the numbers, and that's what matters to the Glazers. As long as the numbers were there, money that's coming into the football club, that's all they cared about. So Rangnick told the truth, told them, these guys are bums.
Yeah.
They're absolute bums. They don't want it. They're not professional. And you know, Eric Ten Hag come in and goes, nah, the players are all brilliant. They're fantastic. Nah, mate, you ain't changing shit.
Yeah, Ralph wasn't here to appease no one. That's why I liked him. Do you know what I mean? Because he kept it 100. And it's funny though, because Jose come out saying, yo, there's a few players that I wanted to get rid of that are still there now. I know he was referring to Rashford and Shaw for sure. Do you know what I'm saying? And then the funny thing is, Ralph come in and pretty much done the same thing. And was like, yo, Rashford can leave. One of the first things he said. So he's seen it. Do you know what I mean? And it's very funny how, yeah, that's it. But there you go. But this is the thing. And he was playing Jaden and he dropped Rashford. So this is the funny thing about how these men have done the narrative thing. And now there's these think pieces about, oh, how can we protect Rashford better and stuff. Bruv, what are you talking about? He doesn't need protection. He's been showing us for years and years and years that his mind ain't right, yeah, and also he's not good enough to be one of the focal points in this team. Yet these men are still trying to build the team around him, bro. And it looks like he's spiraling, bro. Because every time I see him now, he's out with this rapper doing all these different things, and it's like, bro, you do realize that you really should be fighting for your career at the club right now. But it's almost like they've given my man a free pass to just do whatever the hell he wants. You should have your head down. You should be doing extra training. You should be staying out of the limelight. Man shouldn't really be seeing you nowhere. But that's the exact opposite of what's happening. And this is what I mean about the culture of the club. We need someone to come in here and completely change the culture, and getting rid of these players is very much as important. It's very much as important. Forget who comes in. Trim this squad because it's too big.
This is the biggest thing for me. You know?
Yeah, get rid of the right players.
You know what? This is it. This is what you say. Get rid of the right players and bring in a coach that can develop players, that can actually have tangible. What they do in the training ground matters. That matters. Accountability on the Saturday or the Wednesday or the Tuesday matters. If you're not doing what I'm get a structure that backs up that coach. That backs him up. To me, one person can't do it at all. You have to have a structure that backs them. Look at Arteta. And people like Man United have not played this football for the past 10 years. Honestly, Arteta, young guy, they trusted. They said he's their man. They saw something. And they said he's their guy. And what did they remove? They removed all the men that were buying players from. Remember, the Nicholas Bentners and all these those guys. What happened? Was the guy called Nicholas, the Ivorian brother?
Ivorian?
Arsenal. What am I mixing up? What's his name?
No, Bentner was with the Danish. They had a few. They had. Are you talking about the winger?
The winger, yes. See, I'm mixing up my numbers, man.
Pepe, you're talking about.
Pepe, that's it. Pepe. What happened with those guys? They got rid of them.
Pepe, Aubameyang, Ozil.
Oh, but they got rid of the guys who got those players.
Yeah,
that's what they changed.
Yeah,
they changed the guys who were doing some funny business, making money bit on the side on deals. They got rid of them, and
then they changed everything.
Soon as they seen that thing with Arsenal, the Super League protests, and then when he bought Usmanov out, because people don't understand that it was Kroenke and Usmanov that owned. Usmanov owned like 30-something% of the club.
Correct. And then he went to Milan or something, innit?
Yeah, it took Kroenke 11 years to buy him out. Yeah, to get him out of the club. And then, what's his name? John, whatever, the son Kroenke comes. And that's
Josh
it. They change. They fundamentally change what they're doing. And they're not they're sticking to the plan regardless what fact, because they had a plan. Now, like you said, he's got to deliver. He's got to deliver. He's got to deliver. He has to. I knew Arsenal weren't going to do nothing in the Champions League this season, regardless how weak the Champions League's been, because Arsenal team have not been there. Emotionally, Champions League nights, different gravy. It took United how many years after Liverpool got everybody banned? It took us years and years to understand how to play in that, to have the temperament in that, to play in that at that level. So at the end of the day, when I see what's happening at Manchester United is papering over the cracks with Tuchel and some of the fan base getting gassed, it just breaks me because I'm like, well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be like, we told you. We told you. Go and get a coach. Don't divert from the plan. And for me, all this Omo Brada prep, if they get Tuchel, all this Omo Brada for me, prop goes out the window.
Yeah, facts, because that couldn't have been the plan initially. And this is what my biggest issue is with it. If you man go and do this, it shows me that you've deviated from the initial plan, because Tuchel wasn't on the table, when you were assembling the so-called Avengers. He weren't on the table. So then if you now turn around and you do this just tells me that you're not sticking to the plan. And if I can't trust you to stick to the plan now, then yeah, the whole thing's a load of rubbish, bro. Like, it makes me question everything. And I said, would I prefer a coach? Bro, the next coach is not getting involved in transfers. It's already been stated that we're going to get a coach. We're not going to get a manager. Anyone that comes in is going to deal with the players that they are given. Right. This is the whole point of the new setup. Therefore, I would rather a coach that can improve players. Tuchel has not shown me anywhere at any team that he can improve players. That's not his thing. His thing is more of a Jose thing, where you give him the players and he can win one-off games. That's why he won the Champions League with Mount and Werner and Havertz, and also why, even though they haven't had their most amazing domestic season, they got past Arsenal, and now these men are on the verge of perhaps a final if they can do it against Real Madrid. That's his bag. That's his bag.
100%. That's what it is. And we've seen his football. We know it. People are pretending like we don't know it, bro. Yeah. He's good on cup competitions. He's good on cup competitions. But yet he's still lost to Klopp twice. You could say penalties, yeah. But it's still lost. He's something he couldn't deliver. So miss me out with this. Miss me out with this papering over the cracks once again. Why are we screaming for a coach? Why? Because, and the reason why it was a coach, because then Dan Ashworth, Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, all of them have to step up because they're making the decisions.
Yeah.
They're making the decisions for the football club. They've got 100%. The plan. They've got the strategy. They've got the vision. And we can't say, oh, this man is that. And the reason why in modern football, recruitment, the reason why modern football, they get coaches now other than managers, is because the turnover of recruitment of players is too much. You can't turn over. So what you do is first of all, you pick a style of play. You pick a style of play, how you're going to play. Then you pick the coach, get the players, and then when you can get rid of the coach, you bring in a coach that the players can adapt to, that similar style of football. That's what 100%. That's how successful teams are run. Look, Harry Potter left Brighton. What did they do? They got De Zerbi. Why? He could play similar.
Yeah.
Players don't have to deviate from the game plan.
Facts.
So now,
and also it saves the club money in the long term, because all we seem to do is keep replacing the managers that the players that the previous manager bought, because stylistically they're so far apart. Van Gaal was building a possession-based structure, and we should have kept that.
Facts.
He was playing free at the back. We should have kept that. Block. Exactly. So this is the problem, and then he wants a different profile of players. So if we're gonna have a club profile again, Thomas Tuchel doesn't suit that, because he doesn't have a clear, distinct style. He's even said that he adapts to the players that he has. Always. That's not what we need. This is not what we need. We need a manager that has a clear way of playing or a clear philosophy, even structurally. One thing I've heard Potter say is he has a certain style of play he wants to play that is irrespective of formation, because your style of play doesn't change because of the system. You can play a certain style with a 3 at the back, with a 2 or with a 4 at the back. You need to have a certain principles that you abide by, regardless of personnel, regardless of team shape.
I don't
Tuchel
really, to be
doesn't
fair,
show me that.
in modern football, you shouldn't even watch formations anyway. It's just it's the what the play is, what the game is, what the game plan is. You watch the way that the managers move, because at the end of the day, you all defend in modern football. You all defend as a team. You all attack as a team.
Yep.
That's what modern football is. The days that you had different departments are over. That's why you got centre halves going into midfield, full backs going into midfield. That's what you have. So a coach is what's needed, and we need somebody that can get better out of young players, because we got a bit of talent coming through, right? Yeah. And we also need a guy that can improve signings that maybe cost 15 million or 20 million, and then bring them in, right, and improve them, turn them into 70, 80 million players. That's what we need, because that's what Brighton have done. Why can't we? That's what we can't do. What Brighton have done, bro.
Of course we can. Do you know what I mean? And this is it, because what people need to understand here is if Brighton can attract that quality of player, so can we. It's just, and even when Ollie said Man United have dossiers on all of these players, cool. It's one thing having dossiers, but have the right person in place to pull the trigger and get these guys. What's the point in knowing about them if you don't sign them? It makes absolutely no sense to me. It's one thing knowing how to do something, but if you can't execute it, then what good is you knowing how to do it? And this is the same thing with Ten Hag. I don't care what Ten Hag knows. It's what he can show, and what he's showing me right now is he's not a very good football player. That's what he's showing me.
I'm not listening to what you say. I'm seeing what you do. What you do. And Manchester United moving like train spotters, plane spotters. I don't care. Everybody, I can go on White Scout. You know how easy for any of us to go on White Scout and go, this league, that league, what's going on? We can all do that. What's the difference? That real clubs with proper football structure, they target specific guys and get them. And that's why somebody like Ralf Rangnick can say the names. Say the names. Talk about Lewis
because he knows what he wants. But that's the difference. And this is why I categorically said, listen, if they offer me Ralf Rangnick as Man United manager right now, I'm taking him. For the simple fact that Ralf Rangnick can identify a Ralf Rangnick player. Ten Hag has been allowed to sign the players that he wants, and he's still complaining. This guy's had the cheek to turn around and say that Jose Mourinho is the last manager to be backed by the board and basically get the players he wants. What the hell is he talking about? We've overpaid for players that have played for him. We paid a 10 million loan fee for Amrabat, who he'd managed before and he fought for the whole summer, only for him to not play him. How dare he even say that? And then people have the cheek to be defending this nonsense, bro. He's been backed with more money in a shorter amount of time than any manager post-Ferguson.
Yo, Rants, forget that. I saw Gary Neville here. Little old Gary Neville exposed Ten Hag's tactics to his face. Said to him, listen, I've played here. You know what? At times in the games when he was going tough, my wide guys have to come back. Or talking in midfield. You know what I mean? And that leaving a single pivot by himself ain't going to solve your problems. This basketballification of football, what is it? Said that to him. You know what he said? Well, if you had my centre halves play better possession, so why are you not coaching these other men then? You've had the players that have been injured all season. Why have you not by now, after 3 months, coached the guys that you have at the back to keep the ball? Why haven't you? Why? This is what no journalist will ask him. There are low-level players in the championship in different leagues where actually Manchester United have got way better players, but those coaches have coached those players to keep the ball. The excuses that he was making, and everybody was like, oh, Gary, people were trying to spin it. I'm like, when Gary Neville sits there and tells you, I played right back. You know what? Gary Neville dumbs himself down, innit? He's one of the most successful right backs in Premier League history. Nobody more successful than Gary Neville in Premier League history as a right back. He told him, this is what I've done. We never left somebody in midfield by themselves in English football. It's unheard of. It's unheard of. Wingers come back, tuck in. They come back, or we squeeze up. In modern football, it's about squeezing the space, denying the space. We don't do neither. So what the hell are you doing? Excused after injury. I don't care. I see that. And then my guy tried to take credit for the under 18. No, that's that coach, mate. He was there before you were even Manchester United manager. What are you on about?
He's struggling, bro. He's trying to take credit for Kobe Mino. Like, bro, you know what's killing me about the whole Ten Hag situation? The one thing I didn't like with the Gary Neville situation was that why are you not pushing back on anything that he said? Because you let this manager sit here and lie to you and tell him, yeah, but we've had loads and loads of different centre-back pairings and all of these things and because of injury. One, that's factually incorrect because you had a fit Rafael Varane on the bench because you said that he couldn't play on the left-hand side. Factually. You had defenders available and you decided to play Sofiane Amrabat at left-back. You decided to do that. You decided to play Lindelof at left-back because you wanted him to invert. A lot of the changes were not enforced by injuries. A lot of these changes were enforced because you've fallen out with a player or you were trying to be clever. That's what happened. And also, we had Serge Reguilon on loan and fit, and you had him on the bench. You didn't use him, and then he ended up leaving. Why would you, knowing that Malacia was out long-term, rely on Luke Shaw's fitness to get you through the season when you know what Luke Shaw's injury record looks like? He's missed more games than Tony Martial. So why would you rely on him?
Malacia's knee injury. You already know this medical team are ridiculously bad. The players come back from long-term injuries, break down again because they don't know what they're doing. So for me, and then you let Alvaro Fernandez go on loan. Bro.
And he got rid of Kova, the goalkeeper, as well.
Bro, Fernandez won one of the most competitive leagues in world football. For Preston fans, voted for him the young player of their year. They play every 3 days in a championship. Every 3 days is non-stop. It's non-stop. And then you are saying, nah, he needs to go out. Oh, you don't rate him. Oh, nah.
Bro, the goalkeeper we had in pre-season that was really good has just won the league with Leverkusen, and you went and brought in some dud Turkish keeper that we've seen once. Like, bro, why is no one questioning these things? And bro, this is my problem with the whole situation, bro. It's like the players you've been given, most of them have played for you. You're not using them. The players that you got rid of, we could have used right now. You're blaming injuries. And then on top of it, you have the cheek to turn around, and say that we had one of the best defensive records last season, when we had everyone fit. No, we played a completely different style of football last season. The reason why we're conceding shots is because structurally, you have changed the way we set up. It's got nothing to do with injuries. So why did Neville let this guy lie about injuries, bro? It's all about structure.
Bro, because before the interview started, he was told what he can and what he can't say. And they said to him, no pushbacks, no follow-ups. They said no follow-ups. Sky have to get that. You know how the politics works, Brands. Come on, you know that. Sky have to get their interview for Manchester United. Gary has to sit down. Gary now maybe part of Ineos. And maybe he might have been part of Ineos. So Gary has to feed him back to Ineos. And Gary even let it slip. He said, you know what, on the thing, when I saw it on Sky, he was like, off on camera. Off camera.
Yeah, he did. He said off camera. You said, yeah, he did say that.
No, he exposed him, man. He exposed him. He exposed that. I'm like, how can you let a guy who's a pundit tell you about his playing days, what they did by not vacating the midfield? Yeah. And you want us to believe that, nah, that's normal. The players are not listening to me. No, that is structural. You've chosen to embarrass us for us to play basketball.
Facts.
Your tactics are not for this league, blood. They're not.
They're not. And the thing
And
is,
then
we've seen ex players like Ruud Gullit pull him up on the fact that he leaves such a gap in midfield, and he's actually said it's intentional. He's actually said he does this on purpose. So it's not that he thinks that there's a problem with it. He believes in the way that he sets up, but it's proven that it doesn't work here.
Bro, Ajax, because of the technical level of ability that they have, the players they produce, the players they buy, and in that league it can work. Premier League is a different monster, man. It's a different monster. And Ruud Gullit, people you talk about Ruud Gullit. Ruud Gullit is probably the most complete all-round footballer there's ever been in my lifetime. Anyway, he could play centre back, right back, left back, left wing, right wing, centre midfield, number 10, striker.
Yeah.
The only place I don't think Gullit has ever played is somebody. Is that level? You know how level of technical ability and intelligence you used to have as a footballer to be able to be competently playing those positions.
For sure.
The only position that Gullit can play is goalkeeper. I've never seen him be a goalkeeper, but every other part of the football I've seen him play. Because the level of athleticism, the level of football intelligence and technical ability. So
and it's more a mental thing than anything when you have the versatility that he has. You have to be an intelligent player to be able to do these things.
Bro, you have to have all the pictures in your head, wherever position you are on the football pitch. You have to have the pictures in your head. So this idea that you can waffle on, Ballon d'Or winner, the only guy who captained Holland, the great footballing producing nation, to a major trophy is who? So you're not talking to a bum pundit here. You're talking to somebody who's got pedigree, man.
100%.
You're talking to a double? They won it twice. The European Cup with AC Milan. You're talking to a guy that were bought into to stop the Napoli rise, to damage that, and with the AC Milan with Lippi. And that's what I'm saying to him. Some people don't understand. If you want to know NFL football, you want to really understand like training methods and coaching and what. Go and look at AC Milan's Lippi. Go on, have a look at that. Capello just came in, boom. Lippi laid down the foundations. Capello comes in, boom. They start winning title after title. So he wasn't talking to a bum. He's talking to somebody who knows football inside out. And he's asking him and he's following up. And you can see how embarrassed he looks. You see how he's getting red. Watch that clip again.
Yeah, but bro, all that being said, exactly. But all that being said, he will sit there and he'll lie and say how exciting we play. The most dynamic football in the league. Bro, like, why are you gaslighting us? And then he turn around and say, oh, the fans don't know what's going on. Like when the fans are booing his substitutions. He's come out and said, oh yeah, like I had to make decisions for the team, like, and the fans don't understand, and I have to make the what? What do you mean we don't understand? Bro, it's crazy to me. Like, honestly, he's watching something completely different to everyone else.
And this is, to me, that is where there is this. You know, I'm not a guy. Yeah, I was on that train, and I'm happy. Like, because to me. My thing's football opinion. I never profess to know everything. I'm just a fan who goes to games and who follows football for a long time. So I was on this thing, you know what, Manchester United need long-term kind of manager. And I'm like, no, actually, when you get a football structure, you don't. If you have a football structure, you don't. The manager, the coach that comes in has to earn it year by year while he's there for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
This idea that you give one man the keys, and those days are done, mate.
Yeah.
Modern football ain't like that anymore. You get the structure right, you just need to get the coaches. And I'm telling you now, I've got at least 3 or 4 coaches before even talk to me about Tuchel. And you know what? Bayern Munich want him. Happy for him to go. Go on, Bayern.
Absolutely. He'll have a worse time at Bayern Munich, bro, because they got even bigger players than us.
Take him. Please take him and let him leave the single pivot. And let him let him play that basketball vacation.
Yeah, Alonso will absolutely bend him over the kitchen sink if he thinks that he's gonna be playing that football.
3-6-1 business. No way, mate. Leaving that mad spaces. No
Yeah.
chance.
And that's what I'm
No
saying. So
chance.
when Ten Hag, they asked Ten Hag about Ajax, and he was pretty much saying, yeah, he would go back there and all these things. He's leaving the door open because he hasn't been given any assurances about his job, and nor should he. Nor should he. A lot of people took that Gary Neville interview as a sign that he was staying, but I took it as completely the opposite. It was an obligation that he had to do, but also I believe Ineos was sitting there listening to how he answered the questions. He didn't articulate himself very well. And then on top of that, he made it very clear that he said, I expect to be here because I have a contract. He hasn't been given any assurances. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on. And I expect him to be out of here. And also these Bayern Munich links as well. If he was sure that he was staying at Man United, he wouldn't have answered the Ajax question the way he answered it. And also now there's these links from Bayern Munich, apparently. Yeah,
That's
right. Bayern Munich don't want you, bro.
I guess who reported it? I guess who reported it first? The Mirror. Who's Ten Hag's agent and people around Ten Hag close to? The Mirror. Let's go, Mirror. Come on now, people.
Hey, bro, they're playing. Yeah.
Join it up, man. Join it up.
Yeah, he's trying to make like other people want him. So when he gets sacked, it doesn't look as bad.
Yo, Rants, I've seen it on my timeline. People are like, United shouldn't be getting. Why do they want Ten Hag Bayern if he was that bad? I'm like, what are you on about? You don't know how these things work.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I'll scratch your back, mate. Most agents have journalist number. I'll scratch your back. You scratch my back, mate.
100%. And it's the same goes the other way. The same goes the other way. They'll use them for damage control as well if something happens. They have these guys on the payroll for sure.
If you knew how football works in this country, actually media full stop in any industry, then you'll be shocked. The amount of backhanders, brown envelopes. If you guys knew honestly, you'd be like, what the hell? Don't believe everything you read, people. To me, I'm always like, what are they not telling me? What are the bit that they're missing out? What are they missing out? When I read some of these articles, I'm like, so what are they missing out? What do they not want me to know?
Yeah.
What have they left out? And why are they trying to manipulate people? Why are they trying to insult people's intelligence? And Erik Ten Hag, for me, any coach or manager comes to Manchester United, you're not insulting my fucking intelligence. What I see when I go to that stadium, you're not telling me the exact opposite in a fucking press conference. You're not. You're not. I don't have to have coach. I don't have to have great coaching fucking to know what I see with my own eyes. Massive holes. And no injuries are not going to solve that. That's your tactics. It's structural problems. And Gary Neville, a failed manager at Valencia, told it to your face.
Yeah.
So when Ruud Gullit is doing it, that comes with a football brain. Gary Neville's doing it to your face. Do you think Gary Neville can ever speak to Pep Guardiola like that?
No, absolutely
Tell him,
not.
oh, why don't you do this in midfield? I did this, I did that. Nah. So at the end of the day, it's simple. Bayern Munich, go ahead, guys. You're a bit concussed as well of a football club. Go ahead, please take him. And you take him with that level of gaps in spaces in midfield to the most transitional league in world football.
Yeah.
That itself. You don't even have to give him the gaps for them to score dunking goals on you. That league is all about transitional football.
Absolutely. So to me, it's nonsensical. And this is a great shout. And that's what I mean before you wrap up. Ed, I wanted to mention Eddie Howe because if you look at what he's done with Newcastle, he took them from the relegation zone into Europe. And now they're above us again. Right. They've had more injuries than us. Right. And he's another example of what you do structurally. And that's also where Ashworth has come from. You bring in the right players, you bring in the right manager, and you build in it. And they're already looking at Dougie Freedman to replace Ashworth. And Dougie Freedman's another one who was at Crystal Palace doing a good job. That's brought in the likes of Elise, Eze, Guehi. He was also linked with us. So he's going to continue what Ashworth had started. So again, it shows that Newcastle structurally, they've got the right idea. Bro, and that's the route we need to go down to.
They physically bully Manchester United every time we play them, bro.
Yeah.
They physically abuse us, bro. No, but they abuse us. They're physical. They play hard. All their players hunt the ball down, hunt as a team. You can tell what's being done on the training ground is translated to the. And you talk about midfielders. They've had the midfielders all injured. They've had half of the defense all injured. They've had the strikers injured. Every department they've been hit. Long periods. But there 100%. Ten Hag is the only guy who's got injuries. But one thing I say about Gary Neville, Gary said to him, you've only got Shaw and Martina. But it's like, he's making it out. He's lost Roberto fucking Carlos and fucking Maldini.
Yep.
That's what
absolute joke.
I swear to God will make you think Maldini and Roberto Carlos are missing out on this team.
No, brother, he's not serious, guys. And before you wrap, like, look, if you look at this as well, yeah, this here, and this is the chairman of Bayern. Do you know what I'm saying? And he said, I don't blame Thomas Tuchel. He often had dinner with me. I don't know where this place is, but I get along with him very well. But he has a different take. He doesn't think he can improve Davis or Pavlovic or Musiala. If it doesn't work, he thinks you should buy another one. While I think you should work hard on them and give them confidence. So at the end of the day, yeah, there's a moral disconnect here between him and the Bayern manager. Obviously, Bayern have decided that they don't want to do what they've been doing and keep buying players, and they need a coach that's going to nurture them, which is very strange why they got rid of Nagelsmann in the first place, if that's the angle that he wanted. So it's one of them ones
where... They went
where...
back for him. Did you see that they went back
Yeah, they went back for him.
And they said that the people who were briefing against Nagelsmann, they're all being sat now. Because people were like, oh yeah, he skateboards to trade. Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, the girl is checking works for the media. I don't care, man. If you're delivering, you're delivering. So, and then now, you know what? It's funny. Nagelsmann was like, yo, you got rid of me. Hold tight with Tuchel, mate. And then you go and fall out with people like Kimmich and the rest, yeah. Yo, Saeed.
Yeah, look at Saeed waffling, man. Ten Hag to Bayern's happening. More news coming out. Listen, Saeed, I wish him all the best, mate. I'll drive him to Berlin. I'll drive him, yeah. I'll drive him to Bayern Munich and I'll go see my sister in Berlin or while I'm over there, bro. I'll drop him. I'll drive him, bro. And I'll pay for the petrol, bro. Forget the plane, bro. I'll drive him there. He's not going Bayern.
Nah, listen, I wish him luck. I wish him all. Listen, I wish all the luck. I'm like, Bayern, come and rescue us, man. Rescue us. But I do not want Thomas Tuchel. I do not want Thomas Tuchel. Manchester United need to go and get a coach. We need to hold tight and get back to the mountain. Get back climbing that mountain.
Get a coach, and the fans need to understand that we've got a clear out to do, and we've got a new culture that needs to be built at this club. And if it takes 2 to 3 years, then so be it. I just want to see some good football, and I actually want to enjoy watching my team again. And I want a squad of players that I like, bruv, that I can relate to, man. None of this prima donna bullshit. None of all this doing stuff for Instagram and all of this. No, go out there and play some proper football, yeah, and make me be proud of my team again. Because right now, some of the stuff I'm seeing is just disgraceful.
It's simple as that, people. It's up to you. Let us know in the comments. Do you want that plaster, or do you want a coach and fundamentals laid down that you can build on, that can be sustainable for going back, being a big team, challenging every year? Manchester United are in a shout for the biggest trophies. Or do you want a quick fix, win a Europa League, Conference League, a La League Cup, and then get gassed? Hey! No, mate. No.
Because where's that got us?
Sustainable. We want something that's sustainable. And after 6 months, I promise you, if you get a coach, you'll see, win, lose, or draw, Manchester United playing good football.
Absolutely.
That's what I want.
Facts. Hey, guys, let's get these likes up. Make sure you subscribe to NURADIN's channel as well. The link is
big
in
up.
the
We're going to be live later on, man. We're going to be live later on. 10:35 for the match reaction, people. So big up.
That's it. So make sure you're there, guys. Anyway, like I'll redirect to you after my game anyway, because I'll be done by then anyway. So yeah, man. Big up everyone inside. Make sure you follow up his channel. Obviously we're back. Big up Saeed in the chat for sure. We're back. We're back in like an hour for for the build up to the game and the watch along, guys. So I'm gonna redirect to there. Like the stream once you get redirected over there. Do you know what I mean? Get the algorithm moving already. And yeah, man, I'll catch you guys in a little bit, and I'll redirect you guys over to NURADIN after the watch along. Big up, people.
Smash a like.